We asked, you answered. Here's the community's top tips for Evil Genius. Recently, we gave you some of our top tips for Evil Genius, the base building management classic where James Bond can frankly get stuffed. We also asked you to tell us your own words of wisdom for world domination, and frankly, they really put my tips to shame, so thanks for that, everyone. But no, really, the outpouring of expertise from seasoned Evil Genius fans was just too good not to recognise. So here are some of your top tips for advanced Evil Genius players. Thanks to everybody who contributed. Remember to subscribe to the channel for the latest on Evil Genius 2 and any future giveaways. And of course, you can wishlist Evil Genius 2 on Steam right now. We've got the excellently named John Steele to thank for our first tip of the video, and although we could have made an entire game manual out of this little lot, seriously, John Steele knows his Evil Genius. Let's focus on some sage words about where to place the component parts of your base. John says, mess halls, staff rooms and infirmaries are low heat rooms that can be placed near the entrance of your base. I usually lead this into the barracks before an intruder can get into the most important rooms. Wise words indeed. Meanwhile, keeping corridors that lots of minions will need to use 3 or 4 tiles wide will help prevent traffic jams. Also, placing the inner sanctum and power plant at the centre of your base ensures infiltrators can't easily tunnel their way into them. I wish I'd thought about that during the numerous blackouts my base endured. Now, those pesky agents can technically tunnel anywhere without an accessible corridor, but placing the power plant in the middle at least ensures it takes them longer to do so and gives you more time to fend them off. Cheers for the tips, John Steele, if that is your real name.
Emergency, power shortage. All power-consuming objects offline.
Next, we've got the pressing issue of how to avoid Red Ivan absolutely decimating your base. He's an enthusiastic chap and a very powerful henchman, but blimey does he leave some holes in your base and your payroll. As Walter points out, Red Ivan does more damage to you than the enemy. The Hellboy 561's got us covered though, advising us to build a 2x2 room that's right at the front of the base with a level 3 door. Keep him inside and let him out only when he's needed, or when someone tries to open it. Yeah, that would be a bad call. Thanks both for the tip.
I want vodka.
Now a nice one for anyone in the early game who's looking to get the accounts book looking healthy and fill up the safe room with gold bars. Courtesy of Chadtopia, here's a little exploit to stop the infiltrators from appearing in your base. If you don't capture that first maid, who acts as a bit of a tutorial about interrogation and training different minion types, agents won't show up yet. That means you can go about your dastardly deeds early on without fear of generating too much heat and having to repel invaders, so you'll have a nice little nest egg of ill-gotten gains setting you up for later missions. This tip is seconded by Generals Alert over on the Steam forums too, so thanks to you both.
I need to be here.
This one is short and sweet, as you'd expect from John F. Not an ounce of fat on that name, is there? John reminds us of the usefulness of time clocks and advises that you build one in every room so that you can directly control minions instead of relying on the game's own AI to decide what needs doing and in which order. That's sort of the USP of Evil Genius, being a big boss with a white gloves approach to management, but there are rare occasions when it pays off to micromanage, like power cuts or escaping hostages. Thanks for the tip, John F.
Object purchase order confirmed.
Kara99TG dropped so many absolutely brilliant Evil Genius tips that we could make a video just about them alone, and seriously, I recommend you check out the full comments on our original tips vid. Personally, I just love this one for its simplicity and silliness. Everyone loves making trap hallways for agents to check out, writes Kara99TG, but you can also make hallways to nowhere with several level 3 security doors. Agents can't resist high security doors, so waste their time and they'll eventually get bored and leave without bothering you. Speaking of doors, don't bother with them in high traffic corridors because your minions constantly moving will keep them open most of the time anyway. I love the idea of doing away with all the usual complex traps to instead build a corridor to nowhere that's just punctuated by level 3 doors. Time wasting, the ultimate trap. Thanks Kara99TG for this and all your other tips.
Warning, an object is being stolen by an intruder.
We've got William Fleury to thank for our next tip, who obviously learned the hard way that building a room to house your stolen loot from acts of infamy and then deleting the corridor is not such a smart idea. Enemies will immediately tunnel into the unreachable room, completely bypassing the entire base, and take items back through their tunnel. Yeah, no point having Red Ivan in that little 2x2 room if they're going to do that, is there? It's worth noting that this doesn't just apply to loot. Agents see a red flag when you build anything that doesn't have accessible corridors, so they'll even tunnel their way into a harmless mess hall if it doesn't have a door. Cheers, William Fleury. Here's one from J.A., who's a big fan of Lord Kane. Unlike the aforementioned Red Ivan, who's in greater danger of destroying your base than any intruders within it, Kane's a real asset for taking down the heat on agents. Unlock his second tier Smooth Operator perk and he'll simply saunter over to them and reduce the heat level on any agent while they stand stock still, patiently waiting. That means even if Kane's miles away, his target will be helpless to repel the attacks of low-level minions in the vicinity. Thank you, J.A.
I am Lord Kane.
The YouTube comments we've covered just now barely scratch the surface of what's a passionate and fearsomely knowledgeable EG community. We've also had plenty of info from Twitter, Discord and Steam, where our final tip comes this vid. Deverell has some wise words on moving Ireland, recommending that you do all acts of infamy that you can see on the world map first that give physical rewards. These rewards will give your scientists research tasks, and you should also let them get on with this research before moving Ireland so that they can get through it quicker without all the building and relocating going on to slow things down. Very handy, thanks Deverell.
Bonus tip.
And finally, one last bonus tip from Nick Reynolds via Twitter. Minions are always expendable. Spoken like a true evil genius, Nick.
You have failed me for the last time.
That does it for this selection of your Evil Genius community tips. Honestly, we could have made a feature-length video out of all your knowledge, so Evil Genius newcomers, please do go to the comments section for even more tips that will help you out. It's that time in the video now where I ask you to like and subscribe, so do that if you like, and we'll catch you in the next one.